SEC. Welcome to the party. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, breaking down the schedules, and we're ranking them 70 all the way up to number 1. Georgia showing up at number 52. The easiest schedule in the SEC. All right, here's how it shakes out. Georgia, of course, scheduled Notre Dame last year, so that was in addition to their annual rivalry game against Georgia Tech out of conference. But this season, no other difficult game, so that really weights down the schedule. Besides playing Georgia Tech, which Georgia Tech is coming up with a projection of a number 70 team in the nation, something in that range. It's not a very difficult game for Georgia, but it's a game that had to be played. It's an annual rivalry, but I like when Georgia goes out and plays somebody else, like Notre Dame this past season. They've got UCLA coming up home and home. They've got the other Notre Dame game coming up as well. But out of conference, Austin Peay, Middle Tennessee, UMass. Awful games. That really weights it down. Out of the division, Georgia deals with LSU and Auburn, of course, typically two of the top 10 or 15 teams in the country. Not so much this year. Auburn's going to be tough. I expect them to contend for the SEC championship game. LSU a bit further back than they typically are, but still a difficult game. On the Bayou, Baton Rouge, Death Valley, October 13th. The division's fairly weak for the SEC and has been for the last 7 or 8 years, the SEC Eastern Division. Vandy shouldn't be a problem, or Tennessee, or really even Missouri to a certain extent, or Kentucky, if Georgia is going to be who Georgia was last season and who we expect them to be this year. Really, the only game in the division could be South Carolina and possibly Florida. So the toughest stretch, and this is typically something that needs to be analyzed, and I should have analyzed it with some of the earlier schedules, and we'll get to and have in the other scheduling analysis in previous off seasons, the most difficult stretch of the season. For Georgia, not too bad, especially with the bye week in there. LSU on the road, open date, Florida, Kentucky, Auburn. Not horrible, considering what faces some teams in the SEC. So you've got no extra Power 5 game. You've got 3 lightweights out of conference. You've got a weaker than usual LSU. You do have Auburn, South Carolina, Florida to deal with. It's the 52nd ranked schedule in the nation. It's the easiest schedule in the SEC. It belongs to the Georgia Bulldogs, trying to make it back to the college football playoff here in 2018. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Please like, comment, and subscribe, even if you disagree with me, if you enjoy the content or despise the content, but you keep coming back to argue with me. Whatever it is, like and comment and keep the channel going as we debate and discuss college football like nobody else right here at Mark Rogers TV.